Hey, y'all, listen, I see my mods out in the streets. Thank you for being here. Saz K, all the mods out there. All right, come on now. I got a new mod in the book. Let me see if I can add you up. Hey, I'm trying to add as a mod here. Okay, I'll figure this out in a minute. Let me see what I'm trying to do here. Y'all give me a minute. I'm coming to y'all because we got stuff to talk about, okay? Listen, guys. Hold on one second. I think I'm able to do it here. All right, boom. Okay, so listen, guys. We got stuff to talk about, and we're going to get into it, okay? It's trending topics. Locked up, won't let me out. They denied Diddy bail. They denied Diddy bail. Now, listen, we're going to get into it over here, and we're going to try to break this thing down in a logical way. Just so let me say this up front so nobody gets misconstrued as we have this conversation. Victims deserve justice. When someone commits a crime, they need to pay for said crime, okay? But you also have a right to have a fair trial and to go through the system and the justice system properly. Now, I'm the best kept secret. If I have to, brag about myself for a minute, I'm the best kept secret here on YouTube. You better tell your friends. 6 months ago. And so that y'all know that I didn't do no foolery and no trickery and made up a video and then put it there. 6 months ago, I did a video and I told the people why. Because after the raid, everybody was like, today he's getting arrested. Tomorrow he's getting arrested. 2 weeks from now, he's getting arrested. Because the feds, they don't just come and do and not arrest you. And I said 6 months ago, September 2024, Diddy will get arrested. That's when they're going to arrest him. Let me just, because y'all know I got to mess with y'all every now and then. Let me just share a screen. Let me see what video I want to bring up here. Okay, here go my video, my catalog. Diddy, my prediction. Little Riders in witness protection. And feds coming for Diddy September 2024. Y'all see I ain't got no hair on my head now. And y'all see back then I had hair on my head. And this video was 6 months ago. 6 months ago. And I told you why, not because I'm psychic. Not because I'm psychic, because when I removed all the sensationalism from this situation, I broke it down, and y'all could go back and watch it, and I pretty much said they don't have the evidence that they need. Because if they did, the second after they raided his house, they would have came and clinked him up. This was 6 months ago, and I said feds coming for Diddy September 2024. Is it not September 2024? Didn't they pick him up the other day and lock him up? So let me stop sharing. I bring that up and I take y'all back down memory lane because as we have this conversation today, which I want y'all to understand is this is just Diva's opinion. What I want y'all to understand is that they came, in my opinion, and locked them up because they was tired of all the word on the street talking about when they going to come get him, when they locking him up, when is he going to get charged. So they pieced together the best that they could, and they came and got him. But mark my words, because I told y'all this on this channel for months, that Diddy didn't do this alone. I told y'all for months that his fingerprints was not on the dirty evidence that they need. We're going to play when I bring the people up. They got some broke down weapons that they found in his house. They found the freak off videos, some of them. And then they want to talk about They found some baby oil. Let me add this to the conversation. There's a lot of people out there that has some sexual activity that diva wouldn't do, but that's diva. But they don't got to be the devil because they do it this way and diva doesn't. Them telling us that they found freak off videos, I'm not shocked because Cassie told us they existed and she gave in some of her own. Now, my thing is, when y'all watch these videos, did y'all see what appeared to look like underage individuals? When y'all watch these videos, did it seem like the people were passed out and being violated? Y'all want to throw all this sensationalism out there. We already heard all that. We desensitized to it. When I went to go pull up my history of videos on Diddy, I had so many, it took me a minute to find that one when I did the prediction. I'm going to have to put it in a bucket, you know, Diddy, and throw all of those videos in there that have to do with Diddy. Diddy has consumed my channel, my life. I got 1,000 Diddy videos. But I'm going to break this down for you because everybody now saying too, no, they got it together. They got it together. They got it together because that's why they locked them up. What they do have though is, which I told y'all, they're about to come for these other individuals. Listen to the press conference, and when I bring the people up, we're going to listen. We're going to listen. He said bodyguards helped. Well, the bodyguards that have been running their mouth on YouTube, one told us they was head of security for Diddy for 15 years deep. Another one said they got time in with Diddy and they saw a lot. You see when you want to run your mouth? They said bodyguards help. That Dawn, what's the name? Dawn Richard. Dawn Richard. She, what did she? She said a bodyguard threw her up in the car with no handles for her to get out. She didn't say Diddy threw her in. She said the bodyguard did. We're going to talk. Because if I was Diddy lawyer, I would be like, hold on, wait a minute. We got 9,000 people telling us that none of them, not a one of them, could back away from Diddy. There's people that left. We heard about people that left. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Okay, you know what? Yeah, they said he called Kelanni 54 times in one day. But can I tell you again, because I told you I got 1,000 Diddy videos. Can I tell you 3 months ago, and y'all know if you follow me, y'all know I really do a story without an article. 3 months ago, Kelanni was standing by Diddy. So he could have called her 54 times, you know, once that Dawn Richard a lawsuit came out. But 3 months ago, she was saying the same too. Diddy's lawyer better get in these streets and get to work. Because the evidence is out there. And you know, so hold on 1 second. Let me share screen again. Hold on 1 second. Let me see what I got here. Hold on. Because I got to bring the people in the building. Again, y'all can tell this video old because my hair's not even the same there. This was 3 months ago. 3 months ago. Diddy Dirty Money singer standing by Diddy called other artists disgruntled employees. It was Kelanni. 3 months ago, she said that. So he might have called her 54 times. See, they want to give us all this sensational stuff because they're not going to expect us to break this thing down and figure this thing out. But let me tell you, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday, in the midst of my live, one of the subscribers, Felicia, told us he's arrested. But something was telling me when I saw this article about them trying to connect Diddy to the Keefe D case, I said, son, what's going on here? But if I play this, hold on one second. And she's saying, listen, all of these other people are disgruntled employees. And she's standing by Puffy. She's standing by Diddy. She's standing by Brother Love. She's standing by Sean Combs, okay? So Diddy, dirty money singer, bad boy artist playing blame game. Just disgruntled employees, she said. So Diddy got blasted by dozens of ex-associates and colleagues in a bombshell report, but he still got at least one person in his camp. One of the singers from his old musical trio, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta alum, Diddy Dirty Money member, Kalenna Harper, was interviewed for Rolling Stone. Y'all heard enough. That was 3 months ago. 3 months ago, before the Don Richard lawsuit, Kelanni called everybody else disgruntled employees. So yeah, the feds got his phone for when Dawn came out with her lawsuit and he called her 54 times in one day. If I was his lawyer, I'll go back and say, well, 3 months ago, before he even called her, she was in by his side. Now, perhaps he could have threatened her then too. We don't know. But I'm just saying, everybody switch up, change up, twist up their story at their convenience. And they want us to only lock up Diddy. Well, I say no, take them all down. Because they all, if somebody would have stopped him way back then, maybe hundreds of people wouldn't have been messed up and abused after that. So yeah, they gave us that sensational update. He called her 54 times. Okay, 3 months ago, she was saying the same thing. Now it's a 14-page indictment. We're about to get into it. We're going to break this thing down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to think about what they really have. And let me add this to the conversation before I bring the people in the building. The other day, there was this default judgment. This person behind bars sued Diddy, accused Diddy of SA. And he said it was one time at a party. And I was scratching my head. I said, he's suing Diddy and saying he got essayed at a party with Diddy in the 90s. In the 90s. He said it was one time. This is what this man said. One time. He claimed Diddy came to the jail, visit him, tried to get him to take $2.3 million. He said no. He represented himself. He's behind bars. And the judge put in a default judgment of $100 million. I said, who gives $100 million? It was one time. I don't even know if Cassie got $100 million and she endured a decade of this stuff. But there's other people in this world that go through a whole lot and they don't get $100 million. Juanita, if you don't get my point, then go ahead and leave. Be out. And I said to myself, what's the default judgment of $100 million? Well, they wanted to tie up his assets because when he offered up his home to be out on bail today, and he was going to wear a 24-hour leg bracelet and all of that. They said, well, he cannot use his house because the house is tied up in that $100 million default judgment. It's all an ankle monitor. Thank you, Lexi. An ankle monitor. So they've been setting him up for weeks now. So he offered an ankle bracelet, his house, Mama Combs' house. He offered all of that. And they said, well, you can't use Mama Combs' house, your house, because, well, you can't use your house because your house is tied up in that $100 million default judgment. It's a mess. But listen, guys, y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday night trending topics. Diddy got arrested. They denied his bail. His lawyer said that he slept on a concrete bench all night last night. His lawyer claimed he's doing well. His lawyer claimed he's looking forward to fighting these charges. And his lawyer claimed, which is true, you're supposed to be innocent to be until proven guilty, and he deserves to be out on bail. We're going to talk about it. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hold on one second. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Katrina. Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, oh, Katrina, we got to send you some honey and tea over there. Hey, Vanilla Poppin'. Hey, Tay Tay. Hey, Tony. Hey,
Diva.
Hello. Hey.
Today is Tuesday. Oh, I said Monday trending topics. Thank you, Letitia. It's Tuesday. Diddy got me all messed up here. Yes, it's Tuesday trending topics, y'all. Thanks for being in the building. Yeah, tell the people, SassK, watch your words. Watch your words. Thank you, Tuesday. Thank you, y'all. It's Tuesday. Diddy got me all twisted up. It's Tuesday trending topics, but we're in the building, and let's go ahead and get into this, okay? We're going to talk about this 14, what they indicted him on. But before we do that, let me bring up, I got so many tabs open here. Let me close out of my video there. And I saw the little evidence there. And let me get into everybody mute, because if you don't mute, I have a lot of stuff playing in the background. So hold on one second, guys. I'm going to share screen and let's just hear the press conference. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB. which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own.
Come on now.
As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs's electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well that we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, The serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4-HSI-HIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light. We would not be here without them. I also want to thank the dedicated case agents on the HSI Trafficking in Person Squad in New York. They have been with us since day one and have worked tirelessly on this investigation. They will continue to be invaluable partners to us. I also want to thank the incredible agents and analysts from SCNY who have also provided tremendous assistance on this case. I'm deeply grateful for their continued work. And finally, I want to thank the outstanding career prosecutors from SCNY who are handling this case. Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Smizer, and Mitzi Steiner, and their supervisors, Jamie Backleeper and Jacqueline Kelly. They are members of the Civil Rights Unit in our criminal division. We created the Civil Rights Unit when I became U.S. Attorney. I'm deeply proud of their work on this and so many other cases. I'll now take some questions.
Eric Katursky, ABC.
All right. So many people saying, about the key to the city. Let me just add this to the conversation. Before they gave him the key to the city, it was the same city in which at the college there was a stampede and people lost their lives. And yes, that was years before they gave him the key, or maybe even a decade or more than a decade, but they still gave him the key to the city. There were other things out there about Diddy, because if we in the YouTube world know about these things, they knew about these things. Thank you, Rebel City College. But they still gave him the key to the city. And then all of a sudden they woke up. Oh my God, he did that to Cassie. Oh my God, excuse me? Y'all gave him the key to the city with all of those other accusations out there. But I guess when y'all physically saw with your eyes that video, now we got to take the key to the city back in all these lawsuits. Let's be clear. The college that gave him the honorary degree, is it not the same college where he was accused of beating a girl down in the courtyard? See, the people want to play in our face. Oh yeah, come on, the Pow Pow in the club was in the city, wasn't it? They want to play in our face like we stupid. No, y'all talking about you will not tolerate enablers. Well, y'all was enablers too. Now all of a sudden the college want to take the honorary degree back. But remember, he went to another college because he pled guilty to that and a lesser charge, and he had a whole kettlebell and assaulted the coach when his son Justin Combs was over there. Where was at UCLA? So we got Steven Stout. So even if they don't want to go by the rumor stuff, there's some documented stuff that he did, and y'all still gave him all of this stuff. So don't do that to us. And now you want to talk about, here go a number, call in. Call in? Okay. There was, in the Little Rodney case, there's a whole situation where he said somebody got powed in the studio, and then it was a drive-by, and he got the pictures in the studio. Can somebody go find this man that was allegedly powed in the studio? Y'all don't need nobody else to call. Y'all got enough stuff. We need y'all to step up your game. And y'all telling us about some baby oil. Okay, there was 1,000 bottles. Okay, what are we charging this man with? That we need to know about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. How about you know that the assistants and all that help? How about you get on that news conference and tell us you collecting assistants, bodyguards, and everybody else, and they in the cell next to Diddy? The people that brought the cash, paid them off, cleaned up the hotels. Where they at? You want us to call in? Get out of here. Let me go around. We'll do a go around real quick. And then I'll get into the sealed indictment that, the charges on there. Leo, you want to talk? Any thoughts?
Okay, me diving for the mute button. Okay, so and you're right, Diva, in all your commentary, about, we all knew, even down here in North Kakalaki in the 90s, when you can't stop, you won't stop, we all knew of the abusive behavior of Puffy in those days. So if we knew here, then I know the authorities knew then. Okay, so I totally agree with that. But I will make this point is that this is just the unsealed indictment where they're not showing all their cards of evidence. Now, I am erring on the side of caution because I can believe they don't have everything for him, and they do need more people to come forward to substantiate other claims. Because when I read the indictment, it is basically speaking on the civil case that Cassie put forward, and they drew from that to be able to draw up the indictment, just in my opinion, to put that information in there. So, but to show all their cards already for the defense is not this particular phase. This is just the indictment. We have not seen the actual complaint, the full length and breadth of the 3 charges that the feds are going to eventually charge him with. So it may be more information and more people that they will state that are corroborating with their case, but they put in mostly stuff that I would say about 95% of the indictment is mostly stuff that's in public knowledge. So it does make me question. I had to ask Katrina about the arson because I couldn't pull up what it was that was the arson, but maybe they included the Kid Cudi thing, or maybe they included, according to Katrina, they probably are including the stuff that happened with Kimora Lee and her fireplace or whatever. But mostly the stuff in the indictment is things that's known publicly, but it does present a weak case. So in the indictment per se, unless they got other information in the form of complaint that they will eventually lodge against him, that may have more information.
All right, thank you. And I'll come back around. And as we go through this, in between each person speaking, I'll introduce one of these things, and I'll go through them all eventually by the time everybody finishes speaking. So I'll go through this one, then I'll go to the next person, and that's how we're going to do it. So for decades, Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. PD, a.k.a. Love, the defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on his employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, ST, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. We will read one after each person just does an initial chime in. Katrina, your thoughts? Okay, Katrina, are you there? All right. Tay, your thoughts?
He read what he sold, what he did to all those people out there. And now you got denied bail out because they said, we ain't gonna let you be on the streets after what you did for decades. I said, keep him right there in the jail. Lock the keys up. Hopefully he get a life without parole. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Let me read another one from this indictment. Hold on before I go to Felicia. Please mute if I'm not talking to you, please. Okay, so let's go to number 2 here. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka P. D, aka Love. The defendant operated his business headquartered at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global, collectively the Combs Business. Cooperative entities in the Combs business included, among other things, record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. I'll read the third one. We'll go after Felicia. Felicia, chime in with your thoughts.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's been a long day. We've been following and listening and watching. I don't know, what am I supposed to comment on what I think overall, Diva?
You can, whatever you want to say, you can add to the conversation, because we're just going to throw in whatever we want, and I'm going to continue to read through these things, and we'll probably spin back around. So go ahead. Anything you want to say, what you have seen so far, whatever your thoughts are, whatever you want.
Well, I know this. I'm not calling Attorney General Williams on that phone number. I ain't got nothing to offer. I mean, we are 9 months into the legal paperwork of this piece, and you're still telling people to call in quickly. Come
on now, Felicia, talk to the people.
And I'm like, oh no, no, you shouldn't be out here putting out a phone number and asking people to call in quickly, in my opinion. Allegedly, they have some 300 subpoenas. They've had over 50 witnesses, yet it is my understanding, and I keep forgetting her name, and I apologize. Dawn Rashad, we read her lawsuit, I believe, on Thursday. Now, what's the band member's name? Kalenna? Is that her name? Right. And Kalenna was getting her phone blown up on Friday, and then she sat down with the Manhattan DA on Saturday. So how good was your case? In less than a week ago, this woman had to come in and sit down and speak with you.
You better talk to the people.
And if some folks may remember, I agreed with someone in the chat, and I apologize for not remembering who that was, that Dawn Rashad's complaint was just a witness statement. And look what it is. It's a witness statement. For those who have had a chance to read through this indictment, you may come away with what I came away with, that it was a good portion of Ms. Ventura's complaint. We had some of Mr. Rod's complaint in there. And I believe we also had a little bit of April complaint. I believe she was the FIT student who claimed that Mr. Combs had promised her a whole career and everything. So, but the bottom line, no, I'm not calling in. I'm not going to be using the phone number.
Boom, that's it. You still begging for people to call. You had 50, all this. Come on now. Y'all had, what was this? When did they raid that house? Was it December of 2024? I mean, 2023?
No. The lawsuit didn't get filed until Thanksgiving. I think it was more like March.
The raid? Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like March.
All right.
It was
March. Thank you,
definitely
Cascade. She said March, right? March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Well, I mean, what's that? 6 months?
Yeah. But they want you to call in, Diva. Call in.
I ain't calling it nothing. They better get to work and get on these YouTube streets. You call in, y'all should know who to call.
Oh, they know who to call. I think part of that piece about forced labor is talking about the chef and the housekeeper and the house manager. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you don't intimidate us and try to say you call in. No, you make your phone calls. Put your people to work. Don't call in. Did you see that? You see what that man did to Kelanni? Called her 54 times. You want me to call in? You better get out my face. Y'all need to do your own work. Get out of here. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, everybody. Yes, March. Okay. So we're up to number 3, right? So at all times relevant to the indictment, Sean Combs, we know all the names he go by, the defendant engaged in a persistent and persuasive pattern of abuse towards women and other individuals. This abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of this pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of SA with male commercial ex-workers. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial ex-workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs, and that's the ST right there, flying to the location. Combs ensured participation from women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their career, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence. So as I read that one, and I'm getting ready to come to you, Tony, give me a minute. So the other problem that Sean himself is going through, because I gotta find a video. They keep talking about something medical with him, getting medical help, needing to go to doctors, so forth and so on. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me block somebody. Okay. So what was I going to say? So they keep talking about medical, right? So in terms of the whole medical situation, he knew he had to go to New York for this. He knew this was coming down the pipe, right? They found in his hotel copious amount of the cocoa, the pink cocoa, and other substances. So the conclusion is this man is highly dependent on the substances to the point where, because I couldn't understand when they said they even got a subpoena to raid his hotel room that he was staying in. I'm like, why do they need he came to turn himself in. Why do they need to raid the hotel room? This man can't be foolish enough to have brought craziness to this hotel room. Well, they got the bunch of substances that he allegedly brought with him in this hotel room. This man seems to not be able to live 2.2 seconds without some substances in his system. So that is the other reason why I don't see him surviving too much longer in anybody's jail without the help of a whole medical team. Diddy's in trouble. Tony, your thoughts?
Well, Diva, today I learned that, as you put it, cocoa can be pink. I never thought it could be pink. I thought it was always white or off-white, the bad stuff. But no. And also, he may have transported that across state lines. That's also a felony.
Oh, good gosh.
So, but I think overall, you just need one witness to be convicted. But I think U.S. Attorney Damian Williams is also giving other people, unknown witnesses, an opportunity. That's why he's indicating call now, because you can file at this early stage what is called a superseding indictment. That means after the original indictment has been filed, you can add new charges with new people, and the whole process starts all over again. The speedy time clock, if you will, for Sean Combs to have a speedy trial, because that's his constitutional right. It doesn't look good. I think this man has a major severe personality disorders. He's very narcissistic, Sean Combs.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't see that he is, in fact, vincible. He can be taken down. He doesn't see that right now. That's why he turned himself in. He went to the Grand, I think it was the Park Hyatt Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's out partying. See, he's not in the right frame of mind. And he has his sons doing the same thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, talk to me. I'm listening.
And his sons were photographed partying. I think it was in Harlem recently, just a couple days ago, before he was arrested. And then Sean is walking through the hotel, going back to his room. That's where the feds were waiting for him in the lobby.
Yeah.
And they arrested him then. And then his attorney is saying, well, he was surprised by the arrest. Well, according to his attorney, he advised him to go to New York. But I'm sure his attorney never said take any, illegal substances with you. So that's only going to make it worse for his attorney, because at some point your attorney cannot defend you. Your attorney can only represent you and try to get you the lowest possible sentence. But in the end, I do believe we're going to see a repeat of what happened to R. Kelly is not going to happen to Sean Combs. I predicted he was not going to get bail granted because of the seriousness of the charges, not to mention the weapons and how he scratched off the serial numbers, allegedly. In Florida, you can own an AR-15. That's legal with a license. But you can't scratch the serial numbers. That's a separate federal law statute for all gun owners.
Don't say that word, please.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. Okay. So anyone who owns arms, they have to have the, you know what I'm saying, Diva. So I'll just leave it there.
Callie. Oh my God, Callie. She said his brain is fried. No, you're fine. You're fine. His brain is fried. And his lawyer said that the pows found in his home are not his. I mean, well, who's you going? But so many people come through that home. Who are you going to really attribute that these things belong to? I'm just saying what the lawyer said. I'm coming to everybody. Give me a moment. Where was I? I think we're on number 4. Physical abuse by Sean Combs. The defendant was recurrent and widely known. On numerous occasions from at least in or about 2009 and continuing for years, Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others and included one instance at a Los Angeles hotel, this is the Cassie thing, in or about March 16th, which was captured on video and later publicly reported, where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. When a member of the hotel's security staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. Manila Poppin, you're up.
Well, Diva, you said in about, I want to say April, May, charges would be filed in August. You were about a month off. I first thing popped in my mind today. I thought about that conversation that you had. Well, first and foremost, Southern District, they don't come after you unless all T's are crossed and I's are dotted. Yes, they are only basically giving back out what's been in the news. They're not going to lay out their case. RICO charges are very broad, and I believe that's exactly why they are going after him under that particular statute. Serial numbers being filed off. We don't know, what could be attributed to those particular arms that was found in his home. If it was found in your home, it doesn't matter if you say it was yours or not, it was found in your home. We know that when Homeland Security went in, they brought out boxes and boxes and boxes of evidence. And during the press conference, they only showed about 4 to 6 slides. So we're not to underestimate the Attorney General. He is definitely not going to lay out to the public what his intentions are. But at this time, what we saw with R. Kelly is going to be nothing. I do truly believe he has some really big eyewitnesses that they're going to bring to trial. If you notice, after this Little Rod guy and Cassie, all of these people, you don't hear or see them at all anymore. I believe they're under protective custody. I believe that Puffy is either going to fire his lawyer, especially when he get that itch under his skin when he can't get his little itch scratched, or that attorney is going to quit because it's just going to be too much, and Puffy's ego is not going to allow him to follow any direction. I would love to see what Little Kim, Mary, Total, I mean, all of these people that has endured and stayed by him and stay quiet. I mean, Bad Boy brought the whole consumerism aspect to our culture, and it was all a facade. And now we got this man basically crumbling before our eyes. And I say, good riddance. Good riddance. This is not about no race loyalty, no nothing. He is a menace to society, and he needs to be gone. And I just stayed up this late because this is basically past my bedtime. I just wanted to say, Diva, I don't know what crystal ball you have in your home, but girl, you were almost spot on. You were just a few weeks off, but you were spot on. And I hope everybody on the panel has a terrific night, a peaceful night, and just try to move with intention, try to treat people well, and hopefully this too we'll never have to deal with in our own personal lives. We just watch this on TV with the haves, and sometimes a lot of times people get jealous by watching these people and thinking they have the best of everything, and actually they don't. Sometimes don't covet people. Just watch them from afar and keep on moving. You guys have a great night.
You also, and you know what? Thank you for coming up and staying up to give us that word. You spoke tonight, so you have a great night. Also, and thank you for popping through. Yeah, what happened to Farnsworth Bentley? There's a lot of people where we need to know where they be, what happened, and what's their story. But I still think like this. I really do believe a lot of people are going to probably go to the grave with their Diddy story. That is just my belief, because what we're hearing is a tip of the iceberg. I think so much more went on that some people are just traumatized and not willing to talk about. I think I'm on. Go ahead.
Diva, if I may, I just wanted to add on that last piece that you read to us.
Yes.
That's the incident when Miss Ventura leaves the hotel, and then she comes back on her own volition, and she tries to get in, and the hotel doesn't allow her in. Just, reminder.
Talk to the people, Felicia. See, and that's the thing we're trying to add to this conversation is there's more to these stories, and we're not saying that this man didn't do things and he's not vicious, malicious, or whatever. But people are now trying to rewrite history and write themselves out of the part where they participated, they collaborated, they was okay with it. They don't want to do that. I said last night, I said, whether you have a music ability or you can act or whatever the case may be, we all got dreams. We all got bills to pay. We all got a life to live. But all of us don't decide to sell ourselves to the devil for said dreams, right? And my thing is, if it happened to you, but then it happened to you and you kept going back and back and back. There's one person that did a lawsuit too. That was one of the young ladies. I think it was a young lady from FIT. From day one, she said he violated her. Then she went back again thinking it was going to be different. And then she went back again and went to the baby shower when he had Christian Combs. And she invited him to the baby shower and she saved the invite. Listen, I don't have you can't tell me that all the parties she was ever invited to, that she saved all of those invites, and she saved the clothes tied up in a nice plastic bag from when said situation happened to her. I'm the queen of the garbage. I'm not saving all that stuff, but I'm gonna carry on. I think I am on number 6, right? I think number 6. From at least in or about 2008 through or about the date of filing of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, and others known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization, the Combs Enterprise or the Enterprise. Members and associates of the Combs Enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other activities, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of coercion, and enticement to engage in narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. I'm gonna just go ahead and read number 7. The Combs Enterprise, including its leadership, its members, and its associated, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18. The defendant entities within the Combs business, including but not limited to Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprise, and Combs Global, individuals employed by and associated with the Combs business, and others known and unknown. Okay, I'll stop there to let some other people in to speak, and then we'll go back to it. E, you're up.
I guess I will start with Isaac Newton. What goes up must come down. And, there's a transference of energy. We're in an age where men must be held accountable for the things they do, and rightfully so. And so when we mention people using their editing marker to, paint themselves great and putting it all on Diddy, well, what goes up must come down, because he's done this very thing. He's rewritten history on other people's lives. He's changed the narrative on people and made himself innocent. I believe his lawyer came out and said he's done so much for the Black community. He's done so much for women and children. He's stolen people's royalties and put them in his mother's name and his children's name. So, no, the way that the pendulum is swinging, well, guess what? Your family has to pay the piper. And if you all are going to be the villains, well, so be it. The same people that you stomped on your way up, you're going to see them on your way back down. And this news does come as bittersweet. Yes, it's wonderful news that he was arrested. It's splendid that the bail request was denied. However, it took them so damn long. And for me, I forget about Cassie. Cassie has an entire new life, a life of luxury. And don't get me wrong, she deserves that. I'm not disputing that. He used his influence and resources and money to exert his power and abuse on that woman. And she's not the only one. It was other women and men. So anybody who comes forward and files a lawsuit or a civil suit, they deserve that money. And I say you better get it before the well runs dry, because it's getting kind of shallow. But the reason I said it is bittersweet is because Kim is no longer with us, Kim Porter. And I'll Be Sure was almost taken away. And those twin girls don't have their mother. Living expenses cost, but lives cannot be replaced. That's my point. And the
Hold on, E, because a running theme is going. I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta shut down this running theme. So let's keep it real, and many people are connecting to this. Just because she came back does not mean she wanted to. Low self-esteem, manipulation is real. The power Diddy was used as a fear tactic. Stop victim shaming. So let me do this and keep it 100 with y'all. If y'all come to my channel, you know me. We don't victim shame over here, but we're going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it real. And I'm telling y'all that anybody in a court of law is going to ask a legitimate question. Y'all don't get confused. The difference with Cassie was dating this man. Cassie had people come get her when she allegedly left this man. Okay, so when it comes to some others, I met him today. He did me dirty today, and I still went back tomorrow. That don't make no sense. I don't care how you do it. You can't tell me that right here, right now, there's a lot of people that have low self-esteem then don't do this. You can't tell me that you're going to sit on any job for more than 30 days and not get paid and continue to go back. That's a lie. You wouldn't do it. But for some reason, if you're working for a Diddy, a Jay-Z, a Beyonce, somebody that's in power, you will sit there 2 years and not get paid. But there's no way on the face of this earth where you go to Target, Walmart, or any of those, and 30 days has passed and you don't get your check and you continue to go there. You would not. And I don't care who you are. You wouldn't do it. But see, what the people don't want to add to this conversation is we idolize, I'm just using we as a general, you idolize these celebrities, you idolize people with money, and when they tell you something and they tell you to wait and they tell you to work for free, you continue to do it. There are people that was in the same situation as some of these others, and they decided, deuces, I'm out. I did several stories on my channel. There was one where he was an intern, and Diddy said, sleep with me, pretty much. The man said, no, allegedly. He left the internship. You got Aubrey O'Day, who said I was a part of Danity Kane. This is out of her mouth, because I don't put 20 on 10. I don't make up stories. Like I said, for those who are new in the building, when I do a story, there's an article attached. This woman said out of her own mouth, I got fired from Danity Kane because I was not willing to do what others were willing to do. And she also said out of her own mouth, she said that that people, did stuff, and there's things that went down that she said I will never talk about. So y'all can't tell me, oh, this woman met him. There's people that are suing him that met him, and she said the day I met him, he forced me to do X, Y, Z. He called me up and asked me on another day. I went. She thought it was going to be different. Where's all this intimidation and thought process and all of that? You already knew what he did. You wasn't working for him yet. You wasn't stuck. He promised you a career. Promise yourself. You was going to a whole school to become X, Y, Z. You need a Diddy to make you break into the industry? No. What it was you was looking up to this celebrity, and you sold your soul to the devil, And then you wanted a refund. And you want us to help you get said refund. Continue, E. So nobody's over here victim shaming. I'm breaking this thing down and telling y'all how it is. There are some people where you get it. You understand. You get the situation they was in. You can understand how they was intimidated, so forth and so on. But then you got others. You say, I met him today. He violated me, and I went back 7 more times. Go ahead, finish it.
Well, I guess I'll wrap up with this. You know, the judge denied the request for bail, and the lawyer offered the $50 million. And so that denial, again, I thought was splendid. Negro, your money is not good here anymore. So yes, you can pay the victims after a judgment or settlement agreement has been reached. We welcome your payment. But when it comes to getting out of that cage, you're staying in there. And this is the way it should be. No one, no matter what color you are, who you are, where you come from, what you have accumulated or not, what you do, you are not above the law, meaning you should not be able to buy your way out of consequences when lives have been lost, and others, the trajectory of people's lives have been forever altered by the actions of this person of egregious moral turpitude. It goes beyond people's ability to generate income at that point. It's about people's mind state, their ability to remain balanced emotionally, and also their physical health and well-being. It's just some things money can't buy. But when it comes to restitution, when it comes to easing and lifting the financial burdens of the victims you have created, that's the least he can do, which is pay them. It's the least. And a person doesn't keep over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant in their homes, and you tell me they're not passing out Cupid's itch, the clap, and other venereal diseases allegedly. I heard a lot about baby oil and lubricant, but I didn't hear a lot about boxes of condoms because it ain't none. As for the case, some might think that the case is weak, and that's fine. But in my opinion, the feds don't need a strong case in order to win, especially when the defendant is of low moral turpitude with a reputation in the toilet, videotape evidence of him committing egregious acts, and trucks of baby oil and lubricant. He's going to jail and he's not getting out. I don't care if people are still building a case. I don't care if the district attorney is soliciting for folks to come forward on Instagram or LinkedIn. Whatever they have on him, if it's not enough, it will be enough because he's in there and he's not getting out.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. I want to just add this. In my mind, with the lubricant, you added, not you, E, they added that to add more sensationalism on this case. All right, so there was tons of bottle lubricant and baby oil. Okay, 1,000 bottles. All right, what? There was a whole lot that went on in the Playboy Mansion. I'm just like, okay, so there was thousands of bottles of baby oil. But to me, what you should focus on is you knew that there were several people that helped go set up this room, that paid the money. Do me a favor. Let's do law here. Bring them people in. Because he could not have done all of this on his own. Bring those people in because they're responsible too. They went and cleaned up. They know about the people that probably... Let me stop. Let me read one more and then I'm coming to you, Julius.
Diva, may I add something else here?
Of course you can.
There was no mention during the Attorney General's press conference about narcotics found. He found lots of baby oil, but he ain't find no narcotics.
You better talk.
Okay, I'm moving along.
You gotta watch when you're putting words in the chat, people. Please watch the words with the pow-pows and all that. You can't write that. Okay. And so that's my thing too, right? Like, give us substance here. Tell us about the people that was hard. So he pulled in S workers, and these girls was forced to do this, forced to do that. Like talk to us. Yeah, I feel like and that what I think light brown sugar sister, that to me is so wrong right there, because all his enablers, because he couldn't even read and write, all his enablers for R. Kelly need to be locked up too. Okay. Yeah, they was found in a hotel, but she's talking about in the raids. Let me see where we at here. Am I at number 9? Okay, let me just go 8. The Combs Enterprise constitute an ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Combs Enterprise. So they're calling all of these people involved the enterprise. Let's lock the enterprise up. Drag them in one by one. The Combs Enterprise was engaged in its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. The Combs Enterprise operated in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. At all times, to this indictment, Sean Combs was the leader of the Combs Enterprise. Okay. So Sean Combs, the defendant, and others known and unknown participated in unlawful and other activities related to the conduct of the Combs Enterprise affairs. These individuals included certain Combs business employees, such as members of the Combs security staff. I want y'all to take note, security staff. By some of his former security own words. One claimed they was at least with Diddy 15 years deep. This ain't Diva saying this. This is this indictment saying that some of the security staff was part of the enterprise. Household staff, part of the enterprise. Personal assistants, part of the enterprise. And high-ranking supervisors, part of the enterprise, as well as other close associates of Combs. Now, if I tell y'all who some of these close associates are, I ain't going to do it right now because I ain't got time to fight with y'all tonight, because I didn't even realize it was Tuesday. I was saying it was Monday. But if y'all will fall out, y'all keep saying Combs, he's so dirty, he's so this, he needs to lock him up. And I ain't disagreeing with y'all, but I'm telling y'all, if y'all found out who some of these close associates are, y'all would literally pass out on the floor, and we would have to resuscitate y'all. Because if you go back to Diddy's 50th birthday party, shout out to Stevie J who showed us the video. Now, if y'all going to try to tell me that all of these people, these are high-level people that was at his 50th birthday party, he's allegedly been doing this for decades. Y'all trying to tell me none of these high-level people knew about none of these shenanigans? Well, we know that's a lie, right? Because Dawn Richard said she claims that at a dinner table with some high-profile people, they allegedly saw Diddy punch Cassie in the stomach. And that's the part of the story she wanted to tell. What she didn't want to tell was that the FO parties that she witnessed, everybody was these random no-name people. There was some celebrities there, but I ain't trying to talk to y'all tonight because y'all ain't ready. Julius, your thoughts?
Okay, I will make this perfectly quick, and then I'm going to get back to the topic. Watch your words in the chat.
Yes.
Because me and the fellow mods, listen, we're a whole new mod group, and we're not playing. We will either mute or delete your comment, or we will recommend to Diva to block you, period. We ain't playing games. Now back to the topic at hand.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
This man is convincing, and he knew how to sweet talk, like sway the people to keep coming back. Like, he knew how to manipulate it to keep the game playing and everything else. And I truly think the tipping point, even though it was a witness statement, was when Don Richards spoke. Because I remembered when he terminated the other members of Danity Kane. And I said, something is smelly here. Because he fired the other three first, and then he's like, well, Don, if I have to be politically correct here, I have to let you go too. I said, something is smelly here. And I also said a couple of months ago, when everybody in the chat was like, when is he going to be charged? I'm like, listen, the feds are taking their time. They are taking their time. This is just the beginning. This is not the end. And we know that he is crazy, aka the video, and so forth. So now we need to see more of the evidence, and we need to see how the trial plays out and everything else. Of course, Diddy's team is going to file all the appeals and blah 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 blah. We're not even going to get into that. But yeah, he is, and I'm saying this in my Miss Felicia voice. He is a predator. And a predator deserves to be under the jail. I don't care. Under the jail. That's it. And he's 13.2.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me just go share screen. I'm coming around. I'll come into you, Katrina. Just give me a moment. Okay. The purposes of the Cone's enterprise included the following: operating a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries, including, among other things, record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. Did we nearly need number 11? No. Preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power, reputation, and brand of Sean Combs, the defendant as a musician, entrepreneur, and figure in the entertainment industry. Enriching members and associates of the enterprise, including its leader, Combs, and in particular, those who demonstrated loyalty to Combs and willingness to conceal his crimes. Lock him up. Preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power of Combs' enterprise, including the power of his leader, Combs, through violence, use of pows, threats of violence, coercion, and verbal, emotional, physical, and SA. Fulfilling the personal desires of Combs, particularly those related to Combs' sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial S workers. Enabling Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise to engage in lawful acts of violence, including violence, ST, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of P, coercion, and enticement to engage in P, narcotics distribution and other crimes, and concealing the commission of such acts. Securing absolute loyalty for members of the Combs enterprise, including through acts of violence and threats. And protecting the Combs enterprise and its members and associates, including Combs, from the detection and prosecution by law enforcement authorities through acts of intimidation, manipulation, bribery, and threats of retaliation against the individuals who witnessed the crime committed by members and associates of the enterprise. Among the means and methods by which Sean Combs, the defendant, and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise conducted and participated in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise, including the following: Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs, role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to them as, among other things, freak-offs. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced as performances that Combs arranged, directed, pleasured himself during, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial S workers across state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasting multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial S workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes, unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in X acts with commercial S workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IVs to recover from the physical exertion in the substance use. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting, cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims, commercial S workers, and Combs to and from freak-offs, resupplying Combs with requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to Combs to pay the commercial S workers, and scheduling delivery of the IV fluids. In or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including substances and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in these freak-offs. Combs maintained control over his victims through and, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and by other cohesive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victims' appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. During and separate from freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihoods, including if they resisted in participating in freak-offs. Victims believed they could not refuse Combs' demands without risking their financial or job security or without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Combs also used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during freak-offs as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of victims. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including Combs security personnel, at times carried pow-pows. On more than one occasion, Combs himself carried or brandished pow-pows to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse. In or about March 24, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized pow-pows and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with the face serial numbers, as well as drum magazines. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise enabled Combs' control over victims by following his directives regarding financial payments to victims, advancing or suppressing the victims' career opportunities, and acquiring the controlled substances Combs used to keep the victims compliant. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise at times witnessed Combs' violence toward the victims or the victims' injuries caused by Combs without intervening. Instead, members and associates of the Combs enterprise helped conceal the violence and abuse by, among other things, assisting Combs in monitoring and preventing victims from leaving locations such as hotels or Combs' residence. These occasions included instances in which a victim was required to remain in hiding, sometimes for several days at a time, to recover from injuries Combs inflicted without being publicly observed. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise also assisted Combs in locating and contacting victims who attempted to flee his abuse. When employees witnesses to his abuse or others threaten Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise engage in acts of violence, threats of financial and reputational harm, and verbal abuse. These acts of violence included kidnapping and arson. In addition, on multiple occasions, Combs threw both objects and people, as well as hit, dragged, choked, and shoved others. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against them, including in or about late 2023, following public allegations of Combs' crimes, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempt bribery, to stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, Combs and other members and associates of the enterprise, among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with a false narrative of events in an effort to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least 2 occasions. The racketeering conspiracy. From at least in or about 2000 through or on about the date of filing of this indictment in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, the defendant, and others, known and unknown, being persons employed by associate with Combs Enterprise, described in paragraphs 6 to 12 of the indictment, and enterprise engaged in the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to violate the racketeering laws of the United States to and with, and they give the title. Multiple acts including kidnapping, chargeable under the following provisions. Multiple acts including arson, chargeable under the following provisions. Multiple acts involving robbery, chargeable under the following provisions. Multiple acts indicted under Title 18. Multiple acts and multiple offenses involving the possession with intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics and controlled substances, including cocaine, oxycodone, and some others. Let me see, from at least 2. Let's stop there. Whew, searches ever. We're almost done with that, but I'll stop there for now. Hit the like button, everybody. Who am I up to? Katrina, you're up. Katrina, are you there? All right. Let me roll to Dustin. Dustin, you're up.
Can you hear me, Diva?
Yes, I can.
All right, I want to say that I think that he's guilty from. I think that he's guilty of all he could get, and that's my opinion. I think that I think that you do the crime, you do the time, Diva. And this is going to be a long time for him. So it might be a long time for him to rethink about what he did. I think he's guilty from all. I think he's guilty for all of this, and this is not a way. And this is not a way to treat anybody, Diva. And this is not a way to do anybody at all. So I think that he deserves what he's getting. Yeah, and he did the crime, so he should do the time, Diva. Yeah, and we all knew that this was going to come to this point. So, D.D. Combs, enjoy the time you have to serve, because you are.
Because you say he earned it. Okay, I know that's right. Okay, let me just continue.
He earned it, Diva, all the way.
I hear you. Okay, so notice of special sentencing factor from at least in or about 2009 up to including in or about 2018, the Southern District of New York and elsewhere as part of this agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of affairs of the Combs Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Sean Combs, the defendant, agreed to, in affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit by means a person knowing in reckless disregard to the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud and coercion, as described in Title 18, and any combination of such means would be used to cause the person to engage in commercial act in violation of Title 18. The grand jury further charges from at least 2009 up until included in about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. Sean Combs, the defendant, in affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by the means a person knowing in reckless disregard of the fact that the means of force and threats of force, fraud, and cohesion as decided in Title 18. Let me see. They're talking about he transported. Count 3, transportation to engage in the P thing. Forfeit allegations. I'm just trying to see. Substitute assets. Okay. So pretty much you get
the last page is all the performative stuff.
Yeah. You get kind of the gist of it there. Katrina, you're up.
Hey, y'all. All I can say is all of them around him need to be in jail. He need to be in jail. The whole crew. 'Cause like you said, he didn't do all this stuff by himself. He had help. Yes, he intimidated a lot of people. But then again, like I said, they came back. And I'm not victim shaming or anything like that. But the victims also became victimizers because they was helping him do what he done to others. So I don't care if he was over them in Stockholm Syndrome and all that type of stuff. You still have a mind. Or you try to use the police and all that to try to intimidate y'all. But you still had a mind. And you still went along with it. And the same thing, I know I talked about this earlier with those person on the panel. The thing I'm saying is, yes, Cassie was a victim. We know that. But then you became a victimizer yourself. And also, you wasn't going to say anything if he would have paid you that money. So by you not getting that money, so if you wouldn't have got the money or whatsoever, or if you would have got the money when you asked him, would all this be coming out now? Or will you still be silent? So either you wanted to say something or you didn't. You told him if you give me the money, want them to come out, the book or whatever, you get the rights. But since he didn't give her the money, she came out with it. So if he would have gave her the money, or whatsoever, even though she did, but if he would have gave her the money when she first asked, would we be knowing all this? We already know what he been doing, but would we know all this detail? So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, she did come out. She was the first or whatsoever. But if he would have gave her that money, would she would have came out and told people? Like I said, all of them need to be in jail, not just him. The whole little corral, all of them need to be locked up. Only thing I can say, every breath he take, every move he make, the feds gonna be watching. I mean, the guards gonna be
You better
watching
tell
him.
it. You better tell
That's
it.
y'all.
You
That's all I
better
got.
tell
There.
it. You better bring his lyrics up, girl. Come on now, Katrina. Come through. Come through, honey. Every breath he takes, every move he make. You better tell it.
The guards gonna be watching you, and Steve gonna be mad because you can't pay him his money, cause he get paid every day from the lyrics you stole from him. That's all I got, D.
I appreciate you. Listen, I don't even feel like going. We have to do this story another day. But this Kevin Liles, he quits Warner Brother Music, and he has been another one that has been 10 toes down. Saying, it's not the Diddy he knows. I don't think it's a coincidence that he all of a sudden sends a memo saying that he's stepping down because it's been decades and I need to pass the torch on to somebody. I mean, wouldn't the people want to just stop lying? They coming for me. I got to figure this thing out before they come and step down. Now, this is back in April. Let me just play this for you. Hold on one second.
I think with Gunna is it's bittersweet.
What does that mean?
Bittersweet. We're having an amazing time and doing the right thing, and I'm glad that he's able to be, but we're still going through a RICO case.
Right.
So it's bittersweet, and where he is in his music is where he is in his life, and that's the thing. Why I think he's having the success he's having, because he's saying how he feels. His music, you know what I'm saying?
What does this mean for him going forward? Everything is going to be okay, I suppose. You know, he says the case, but what are we looking at potentially?
No, I think that, you know, Gunna's going to be Gunna. He's going to be Sergio. He's going to be a son. He's going to be a philanthropist. He's going to be someone that continues to push our culture forward. So, you know, life experiences change people, but true soldiers get through it. You know?
Really quickly, so his peers, hip hop peers who criticized him, do you think they will ever be able to make amends with them, or does it not matter anymore?
Oh no, I listen. Everybody got their opinion, but everybody not going with what he's going through. And so, at the end of the day, I wish anyone. You gotta understand. Our culture, we're very opinionated about a lot of different things. But what's the most important, that we're human beings. And so I'm supporting a son, a human being, somebody, and I'm supporting the whole culture to say that we're getting attacked on us. So we got to protect Black art, and it could be you next. You know what I mean? So let's work together.
Diddy, have you spoken to him? All we want to know is, have you spoken to him? How is he? Where is his mind at? I know it's a lot that he's been going through, very public. Have you spoken to him? How is he doing? Looks like he's, you know, kind of keep his head up. You see him, you know, in his house at the pool, chilling.
I'll tell you, like I tell people, somebody I grew up with, somebody I respect. It's not the Diddy I know.
Not the Diddy he knows. So see, now nobody don't know nothing. And yes, somebody asked, you know, can you debate here? Will you get immediately blocked? No, you will not get immediately blocked. But if you're going to be disrespectful and wild out, then you will get blocked. But no, debate is fine, because listen, the people don't really agree with me much, and it's okay. But what we can't do is get disrespectful. I think I'm going to, because there's so many videos I could show. I'll show this last one of Diddy lawyer speaking, and then
Russell Simmons' cousin.
Then we're gonna close out after I show. Like, I'm gonna go around and close out with everybody after I show the lawyer talk. The lawyer, to me, is a little loosey goosey with the mouth. I don't know if I personally would be saying this much if I was a lawyer, but you know, this is who Diddy hired.
So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, you know, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
So this goes back to Felicia's point, is that most of this case is based off of the Cassie situation, and they waited all this time to base their whole case off of the Cassie situation. Weak. Felicia, your final thoughts? No, listen, hold on. Before you talk, Felicia, Yolanda, no, Jussie Smollett, the people that got some crimes they need to talk to him and his lawyers, because he's still on these streets living his best life free. Mm-hmm. They better get his lawyer. Go ahead, Felicia.
The attorney, Mark. Mm-hmm. This is his ground here. He comes out of the Manhattan DA office.
Okay.
He and his wife worked as DAs there.
Okay.
So when I say that, I believe that they should have ties and relationships that are good, knowledge, a lot of knowledge about the process, who does what, how it gets done, what can happen, what may not happen, what should happen. And on that piece of video there, he looked at me like he was shocked and surprised that things didn't go the way he thought.
Come on, talk to the people.
So that tells me he was ill prepared.
Mm.
And I said to some folks last night that I thought his statement that he made on behalf of his client was not in good order. I mean, shall I read the statement to remind folks what he said?
Yeah, you can read it. Come on.
Let me go find it.
Read it. I didn't hear. Can you read it for me? I didn't hear it.
I'm gonna try to find it now, Dustin. Yeah.
Okay, while you try to find
it, recall. Yeah. Okay, I'll come back. Okay.
Yeah, you'll come back. Tay, your final thoughts.
Hey, Diva, I wonder what happened to his old lawyer that he had. You know, the one that with him at the funeral. What happened to that lawyer? Did he fire that lawyer?
He ain't fired Uncle Benny. Uncle Benny probably left him. You know what killed me though too is Uncle Benny was with him darn near for life. So where is Uncle Benny?
Yeah. Well, Uncle Benny is still around, but each attorney has their own specialty, Tay. So this hearing, he brought in Mark to represent him because this is supposed to be his specialty. This is what he knows. So, it's disappointing because when you're being paid about $1,200 an hour, people want you to deliver. People want you to deliver. So if I may, this was the statement from Mark and the attorney for Sean Diddy Combs last night when he was picked up at the hotel. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office of Sean Diddy Combs. He is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. Many of us remember the video Mr. Combs did in response to the hotel video. We said that wasn't who he was. He was sorry about that. He was a different man, blah, blah, blah. So he admitted some wrongdoing, yes? Right? 30 years of building the Black community. Well, a lot of us don't think we're doing so good, do we? So what were you building? So I really thought, and then when he said he's been totally cooperative, he was not fully cooperative, okay? And he's innocent, yet we find out they find him with substances in his hotel room. So when statements are made like that, it brings me to the belief that he doesn't know his client. And I believe today, when he went in there, it was further affirmation for me that he doesn't know his client and he didn't understand who and what he was going up against. So he says that the judge tomorrow is supposed to be the one actually on this case, and he's hoping for a better outcome. I wish him good luck with that. I don't know if that's going to be the case. As far as the actual indictment, I did not feel it was based on if Mr. Combs were to go in front of a jury of his peers based on what was given today. I don't believe it's a strong enough case to put somebody away for the rest of their life. I don't.
I'm concurring with you there on that, Felicia.
From what I remembered us reading together and discussing over all these months, this is heavily, heavily based on Miss Ventura's case. And
Heavily.
Miss Ventura gave many of us areas of concern, of doubt. Was this consensual, not consensual? Well, how come that happened? Why you denied that? What's going on here? There was a lot of back and forth. And I, for one, was one that says, yes, she too had to be held accountable. There were times when she too was victimizing people and bringing in some of her friends, her regular friends, not these commercial ex-workers as they're now being defined, but some of her friends have become victims. Can I shout out Kerry Morgan, who took a hanger to the head trying to defend a friend? So I think if it's a jury trial and you're sitting with your peers, they are no different from the folks up on this panel and not different from the folks in the chat. You may very well get a split decision, a hung jury, or something like that, because everyone may not necessarily be able to embrace all of one person's and maybe April's stuff and Little Rod stuff. Now, if they want to go on the RICO end with the money wiring and there was a lot that somebody was bringing him bundles of cash and all this stuff, then you need those people to call in. And it's call. Yeah, they better call. And they need to call in to strengthen that piece of the case.
That part.
I'm done.
That part. Tay, your final thoughts?
I want to say good luck, Diddy, because they're going to have all this case on you right here. Because, like I said before, you sold your soul to the D word. You did all to these people because you still want to be the only person to stay up on top while everybody was at the bottom, was struggle. And you took all their money, took their royalties because you want to be a billionaire. You don't care about nobody. You just care about yourself right there. Justice for all the victims, that the life that you destroy. Justice for Tupac, Biggie Smalls, Kim Porter, the doctor.
Oh my gosh, okay. Mm-hmm.
The bodyguard.
Okay.
And the guy that you tried to spoil his car to. And the guy that you punched at the wedding too. And Kathy. And the lady who got pow to the face too. So all those people that you did. And I feel bad for the twins and baby love.
Come on now.
I really do. I really do.
I appreciate that.
Oh, my bad, Diva. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I said I appreciate that, Tay. Come on, feel bad for the twins, baby love. Can you throw Christian Combs in there, and Justin Combs, and Quincy, and Chance?
Just for the girls and what's his name? What is his name? LB kid?
Quincy?
Yes. That's only those right there. I feel bad. The old two, they the one follow their father footsteps. I'm sorry, Diva. But they want to act like a man. They want to follow their father footsteps. I'm sorry about that, Diva, but I just feel bad for the rest of those kids. The ones who lost their mama. They only have one parent, and that's their dad right there. I'm sorry. It's just how I feel right there. You want to follow your father footsteps? Your mama should take you away from this man a long time ago. If I was those kids, Diva, I would cut ties for the name of Combs
Oh,
forever.
Ooh, take that.
Because they doing too much. I'm sorry. That's just me right there. I would cut ties. I would change my name. For the twins, they might as well keep the name out the Combs and go to their mom's names. Porter.
Oh my gosh.
That's all, Diva.
Well, I appreciate you, Tay. Whoa. Not change the names, go to Porter. Leo, your final thoughts?
Tay done blew my mind. You better speak on it, Tay. You better speak on it, girl. Yeah, I totally agree. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say. Lost my thought. Yes, I have had a bit of skepticism. But I'm gonna still enjoy him being clinked up because I'm quite sure he never thought the day would come. I hope they got him in the tombs. I think that's what they got in New York. Say, I hope he in the tombs in the holding cell. He need a bit of taste of that. Am I 50-50 on it? Yeah, I am 50-50 on it. He may get off. You know, the folks that I have been texting with, like, yeah, he still might get off. I mean, until I can see the evidence that they present, then I don't know. But so far on the indictment, I do think it's weak. And I'm also glad that he is clanked up. I'm glad he in the People County. I am so glad of that. And I have a bit of skepticism going forward to see what exactly is going to happen. It's going to be interesting, and I will stay tuned in, Diva. That's all I got.
I appreciate you. Julius, your final thoughts, 60 seconds. We're running out of time.
Ooh, child. I'm glad this fool's behind bars. And may the spirits of the late Kim Porter and the late Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie Smalls, haunt him and make him go out of his mind. Because it's just what he deserves as long as he stays locked up. Choo choo.
Appreciate you. Tony M, 60 seconds, your final thoughts?
Well, I just think that everybody should give the process a chance, give the indictment a chance, give the whole process, because there's a lot that we don't still know.
Okay.
And yeah, I just think that karma is coming around and it is finally catching up. I don't think Sean Combs is very bright mentally or academically to understand the full magnitude of what he has done, what he has created, what is alleged against him, and the evidence that's pending against him. I think there is enough for the U.S. Attorney's Office to secure convictions. And I do believe that this is the beginning of his days of freedom as we know it, as he knows it, rather. That's all I have to say.
I appreciate you. I'm coming to you, Dustin, for your final words. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna say this. That man is not dumb. And the reason why I'm saying that is, and I think the reason why he was kind of a little laid back is because he knows the magnitude of the high level people that was involved in these situations, and he thought he was going to be safe because of all the other individuals that were involved in this situation. There allegedly was law enforcement that was involved also. They're calling this thing an enterprise. And then they're leaving out the names of said individuals that are in the enterprise, but they're giving us somewhat of a clue by naming the low-level people. And when I say low-level, I mean they're saying his housekeeper, his security. But a lot of people that are hired for security in a lot of situations are police officers. They do it as a part-time job. But I'm gonna leave that there. 60 seconds, Dustin. Your thoughts?
Well, as I said before, and I'll say it again, I do believe that he's. I like to say everybody's innocent till proven guilty, but I do believe he's guilty, David, and I think that he deserves everything that he's getting now. I do believe in karma, David. I do believe if people. I think that he deserves everything that he's getting, and I think that he is going to have a long time in the jailhouse and a long time in prison. This is just my opinion, David. And I think that he realizes that he ain't gonna get out on this. But I don't think that he's gonna be so lucky this time, David, because luck runs out, David, and I don't think that he's gonna get lucky that time. So
you are
you
correct. Luck runs out.
you are gonna have to face the music, DD Combs, and you're gonna be spending the rest of your life possibly behind bars, and you deserve everything you get.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And I also feel very bad for the people that have been affected for this. So I'd like to say one more thing, Dave, if I can.
Mhm.
I'd like to say that I feel bad for the victims because that's gonna that's gonna scar them for the rest of their life, and I do feel bad for the victims. So I hope you get some. I hope this has you had a little bit has you a little bit of closure that he's now being uh, put behind bars, and I hope he stays there for a very long time.
Yeah, thank you. He thought he was protected, but he was sacrificed. That I do believe. I don't think Diddy is not going to do a Epstein. I think Diddy's biggest problem is the detoxing from these substances. I think that's his biggest struggle right now. Literally, like if y'all remember during the pandemic, and I'm coming to Katrina for your final words. During the pandemic, they did not close the liquor stores, the spirit stores, whatever you want to call it, where you can get your alcohol at, for the very reason they did not have time for people to go into detox at home, and those individuals load up the hospital, and they barely had room for the people that was dealing with COVID. So I think Diddy's biggest issue is going to be this detoxing, because even if they said like behind bars you can get your hand on substances, allegedly he's on these high level amounts to the point where you knew you was there to get indicted and you got a whole slew in your hotel room. It don't make sense. Katrina, your final thoughts.
Yeah. The only thing I'm gonna say is, you have to watch these people with the felonious lawsuits, because they gonna look at him like, okay, they after all his money, and that's why when people come saying that he did this, and you got other people saying that they didn't see it, so it's making it look like, well, are they really after his money? Just like the $100 million lawsuit. So he can put out and say, these people just coming after me for money, they're lying or whatever. And the thing about it is, you did not build up the black community. You tore the black community down. You took from all these black artists and you lived a life of luxury while they struggled. So what did you build up? You only build up yourself and your mom and those people. But you didn't build up the black community. You tore up the black community. You tore them down. You tore Black Rob down. You tore Greg Mack down. Total. Biggie. Pop. So what black community did you build up? The ones that you freak offs? Because you didn't build up anything else. You didn't build up nothing. You built up a whole lot of chaos. And now that chaos is coming back for you. And like I said, the other lawsuits, I'm not saying they shouldn't fire them. But what I'm saying is, he going to have, the attorney going to say, well, this one filed this, then this one saying this didn't happen. So you just got to watch the people that doing those kind of lawsuits, or they doing that to have shade for him. so he can say that this happened and they just wanted money. But like I said, you didn't build up anything. The only thing you built up was chaos. You tore down the black community. That's what you did. That's all I got to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Listen, guys, Sasuke, thank you for that article. Listen, guys, thanks for being here. Y'all know the routine. Hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. We will stay connected to this story. Tomorrow is really going to be the telltale sign. If he doesn't get out tomorrow, I feel like he's going to break. I think he's only remaining calm right now because he thinks that any day now, any second now, his lawyer is going to work this thing out. We shall see. Tomorrow we will know. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you on the next video. And prayers for the kids.